Okay, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's practice. We're going to get into a little bit of a gentle Hatha flow. This is Lola. She'll be joining us. Say hi, Lola. Yeah, she likes to yoga too. Okay, so we're actually going to start in a tabletop position. So get nice and comfortable in a nice tabletop. So you want your wrists under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips. And then notice how the tailbone kind of starts to tip up because the core wants to dip. So you want to gently, tailbone tucks gently under. Wide fingers here. And then notice how usually, just coming into a regular tabletop, the middle finger is going to kind of point forwards generally. You want to externally rotate those palms so the index finger points forward. That's going to face the eye of the elbow forward, and it's naturally going to draw those shoulder blades down the back. So again, nice tight core. Your toes can point towards the wall behind you, or if you get any cramping in the feet, you can always turn those toes under, so whatever feels good. Press the earth away here. Drop the shoulder blades and see if you can squeeze the shoulders into their sockets so the kind of upper body or the chest then engages. Good. Pressing down through the earth. Let's take an inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to sink hips to heels. And then inhale, come back up to your tabletop. Exhale, sink the hips to the heels. Maintain that nice strong core. Inhale up. Last time, exhale, sink. And this time, walk the palms to the thighs. Come up into your hero. Shoulder blades come together. And then again, tuck that tailbone forward. Reach from the crown of the head. Inhale, fingertips. As you exhale, we're going to bring the arms into a cactus arm. So exhale, elbows out. That 90-degree bend. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, drop through the shoulder blades. Keep them down away from the ears. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, last time. And then bring the hands back to the thighs. Come up onto the knees, using the quads. Pelvis forward, drop through the shoulders, engaging through the glutes, the glute max, the glute medius. Exhale, sink back down. If this is uncomfortable, you can always take a block and place it underneath the sit bones. Inhale, come back up onto the knees. Exhale to sink, nice and controlled through the thighs. So you don't want to be coming all the way down, hurting the joints. Nice and controlled, inhale up. Pelvis comes forward. Again, that's when you'll notice the glute medius activate. Exhale, sinking, and then we're going to walk back to a tabletop. Come right into a cat-cow. So exhale, it's round the back. Press through the palms, chin to chest, look to the thighs. Inhale, tilt the tailbone. Now the low belly can hang. Drop through the shoulders, lead from the heart. So rather than leading from the forehead, lead from the heart so the neck can be down. Exhale, round. Really press the belly button into the ceiling here. Engage the core. Inhale, tilt the tailbone, drop the shoulder blades, heart shines forward. One last round. Exhale, feel free to use your own breath here. Really get all that oxygen out of the lungs. Inhale to tip the tailbone. So again, if you have any kind of cervical spine issues, sometimes as you start your practice, looking up can even cause a headache right in the back of the head. So I like to look about a foot above the mat just to kind of start. We'll come back to a tabletop here. Good. Pressing through the palms, dropping through the shoulder blades. Again, gently tuck that tailbone just so that the low belly isn't hanging. As you engage the core, you pull through that rectus abdominis, through the obliques, and then you get that nice flat back parallel to the floor. Exhale, sink the hips to the heels, walk the hands back to the thighs, coming back up again. Tailbone tucks, reaching from the crown, open through the heart here. So you can stay in your hero, or you can come into a cross-legged seat, whatever feels good. We're going to get a little bit of a side extension going here. So wherever you are, inhale the fingertips. Drop through the shoulders. Exhale, right hand to right side body. Inhale, left fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, tip over to the right, acting as though you're between two panes of glass. So you're not folding forward and you're not falling backwards, but we have a nice gentle external rotation of that left rib cage. Drop through the left shoulder blade and then squeeze the humeral head into its socket, maybe looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, both fingertips up. Exhale, left hand to the side body. Inhale, right fingertips to the ceiling, and then same thing, you're coming over. So again, let's talk about the core here. So you're nice and active through the core. Again, the hips are going to want to either come forward or come backwards. You want to be nice and strong through the core. Drop through the right shoulder blade, press it into its socket. Inhale, both fingertips. Exhale, let's come back into that tabletop. Good. So again, wrists are under the shoulders, knees under the hips. This time, turn the toes. Oh yeah, feel that. Exhale, sink the hips to the heels. Keep the palms where they are. Inhale, lifting back up. Exhale, sink the hips to the heels. Really press through the toes. Inhale, back up. Exhale, sinking down, maybe rocking through the balls of the feet here. Get a nice stretch through the toes. And then inhale, back up to your tabletop. Point those toes backwards. Widen the knees the width of the mat. Big toes come together. Sink the heels, the hips to the heels, and walk the palms forward. Allow the forehead to find the mat. As always, you have a couple options here, but before we settle into an extended child, we'll get a little bit of that side extension again. So walk the palms over to the left. You can come off the mat. Right palm is going to come on top of the left, and then two options. You can sink here, press the right hip down towards the feet. If you want a little bit of an extra extension through the right side body, see if you can kind of twist to the left. So almost as though you're resting that right ear onto the right bicep. Inhale, let's come on back to center. Exhale, release the forehead. Inhale, walk over to the right side. Same thing here. Left palm can come on top of the right, sink down through the left hip, and then you can come into a little side twist here. Inhale, back to center. I got a cat in my shirt. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Good. One more inhale. As you exhale, lift the hips, bring the palms back underneath the wrists. Hi, Lola. Turn the toes. One last time. Exhale, sink hips to heels. Inhale, back to center. And then you can point the toes, swing the feet over to the left, and come into a nice cross-legged seat. This is Lola's favorite. So again, nice extension here. So drop through the shoulder blades, and first we'll just get nice and tall. So you can kind of gently bring the shoulders together, acting as though you're almost squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. This is why Lola loves this one. And then you want to watch that you're not creating a big arch through the lumbar spine. So you want to gently, again, tip that tailbone forward so that you get a nice long kind of length rather than chest forward, arch in the low back. Shoulder blades are kind of too far together. So find that nice middle ground. So ground through the sit bones, reach from the crown, lengthen. Good. And then we'll get a little kind of twist before we get to our side extension. Take the left hand to the outside of the right thigh or your cat on your right. Right hand behind the low back. You want to use the core here. So inhale for length. Again, watch you're not overextending through the spine. And as you exhale, twist to the right. You can look to the wall behind you if that feels okay for the neck, or just to the side. But again, you should be able to kind of like release your hands and still stay where you are. So you're not pulling with the left hand. Drop through the shoulder blades. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, nice and gentle. Come on back to center, and we'll get the other side. So right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left hand behind the low back. Drop through the shoulder blades and take a nice deep inhale first for length. Then as you exhale, use the core, twist to the left. Look either over that left shoulder, maybe to the back of the wall behind you, maybe just to the side wall. The twist is mainly coming from the core here. Again, you should be able to kind of lift the hands for a little bit and be able to stay where you are, just to know that you're not pulling. This shouldn't be kind of really working the shoulders. It's all about twisting from the core, massaging the digestive organs. Take an inhale, get 1 inch taller. Exhale, untwist. Perfect. So you can bring the hands to the knees, drop through the shoulders. Again, get nice and tall without that kind of extension of the spine. Good, or back bend, I guess. Take an inhale. As you exhale, round the shoulders, press the belly button to the back wall, chin comes to chest, and then inhale, lead with the heart, come forward, shoulder blades together. So a seated cat-cow. 2 more times. Exhale to round. Inhale, heart forward, shoulder blades together, and now you can get that kind of back bend happening if it feels good. Last time, exhale to round. Inhale, lead with the heart, shoulder blades together and down the back. And then back to your neutral spine. Good. So we're going to bring the feet planted forward. Sorry, Lola. Feet are planted forward in front of you. You can kind of come a little closer to the top of the mat. You're going to place the palms behind you, and we'll just get a little bit of that kind of windshield wipers through the knees. Get into the hips a little bit. So exhale, knees to the left. Inhale, knees back to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Use your own pace. Trying not to create a big ride for Lola here. Apparently she likes it. Inhale, center. And then we'll come back to center, and feet are going to come hip distance. So you can kind of walk a little closer to the top of the mat, come down to the forearms, and then we're going to come all the way down onto the mat. Good. Open your arms into your T pose, so fingertips reaching to opposite walls, and then walk those shoulder blades a little closer together. Feet again are hip distance, and toes are pointing forwards. And then walk the heels a little closer to the sit bones. Again, Lola, we're going to another ride coming up. So then we're going to bring the palms down to the side body. 2 options here. You can leave your hands right where they are, or you can place your fingers under your yoga mat, thumbs on top. Act as though you're almost trying to pull the mat apart, engaging the upper body, or again, just palms face down by the side body. Ground down through the big toe joint, the baby toe joint, and then the back 2 corners of the heels. As you inhale, lift the hips up to the ceiling. Really engage the glutes. Keep the knees parallel, so the thighs parallel. So the knees are going to want to come out. You want to keep acting as though you're squeezing a tennis ball between the thighs. Really engage the glutes to protect the low back. And then act as though you're bringing the heels towards the glutes. So you don't want to push the feet forward. You want to almost retract heels. And then exhale, peel the spine. Nice and gentle. Last thing to release will be the glutes. Good. We're going to do that again. Ground down through the feet. Inhale, lift up through the hips. Really engage the glutes. Keep acting as though you're squeezing a tennis ball between the knees. Maybe lift up an inch higher. And then exhale, peel the spine. Come all the way back down. Rolling down almost. Releasing the glutes. Last time, inhale, same thing, ground through the feet, lift through the hips, engaging the glutes. If you like here, walk the shoulder blades together, interlace the fingers underneath the glutes, lifting, engaging, keep the thighs parallel. Exhale, first we'll release the fingers, walk the shoulders out, and then peel the spine all the way back down. Take the knees into the chest. Around your cat or just together. Feel free to rock from side to side, massaging the low back, Massaging the side body. And then we're going to come right into a happy baby. So knees around the rib cage, flexing through the feet. With your peace fingers or index and your middle finger, you can grab your big toe. And then inhale, soles of the feet up, parallel to the ceiling. Drop through the shoulders, so you're grounding shoulder blades down the back and then towards the mat. Really digging the heels into the ceiling. Take an inhale. If you'd like to rock from side to side, feel free. And then releasing the feet. Knees back around the rib cage, and then bring the knees back together. Good. So bring the palms back down to the side body. Flex through the feet. We're going to get a little bit into the abs here. So bring the calves parallel to the floor. So that's going to almost as though you're pressing the heels forward. Nice 90-degree bend in the knees. You can kind of walk the shoulder blades a little closer together if you'd like to ground down through the back body a little more, if that feels a little more comfortable. If you have any low back issues, you can always place the palms, thumbs together underneath the low back. If not, palms can come by the side body. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lengthen the right leg and lower it about an inch off the mat. Inhale, back up to your 90 degree. Exhale, left leg lowers about an inch off the mat. Inhale, back to 90. Good. Exhale the right. Inhale it back. Exhale the left. Inhale it back. Last time. Exhale the right. Inhale it up. Ground through the shoulders. Exhale the left. Inhale it up. Good. Sorry, Lola. So now we're going to rock into a boat here. So bring the knees into the chest. You can grab the shins or under the thighs. Give yourself a little squeeze. If it feels good, bring the forehead into the knees. Good. And we're going to start rocking forwards and backwards. And as you come up, the shins again are going to stay parallel to the floor. You're going to rock up, heart forward, fingertips forward, up with the shins. Drop the shoulder blades. Exhale to roll backwards. Inhale, use that momentum. Come back up. Drop the shoulders. Exhale to roll. Last time. Inhale, come back up. And then come right into your cross-legged seat. Good. So dropping through the shoulder blades, come back into that neutral spine. And then we're going to take the right shin. And you're going to keep the right shin parallel to the top of the mat if possible. The ankle might naturally come a little closer towards your sit bones. That's totally fine. You're going to take the left leg out to the left. And then you're going to swing it behind you. Good. So that right ankle, now you're going to gently move it a little closer to the sit bones. We're going to come into a pigeon here. So again, I like to just kind of slide that ankle a little closer towards the back of the mat. And then we're going to come up onto the left knee, lengthening the left leg behind. So come on to the left. And then see how really tight hamstrings right now and hip flexor. So see how that right heel comes a little closer into the sit bones. Don't try and fight that. If there's any pain there, planting through the palms and then kind of look backwards. Make sure that the left leg is in alignment with the left hip. So especially if you have really tight hamstrings or adductors, the foot's going to want to come out to the left. You want to keep the foot coming in towards the center line just so that it's right in alignment with the left hip. And then you can, two options, point the toe. If the toe kind of comes in and you're hanging out on the ankle, turn the toe under. That's always kind of a nice way to make sure that the four corners of the knee are in alignment with the same direction as the toe. So two options. Point if you can, turn toes if that feels better. And then from here, we're going to get a little bit of a back bend. So come up to the fingertips, drop through the shoulders, reach. Planting through the palms. Feel free to come down, forearms. If it feels good, you can come all the way down. And then come back onto the palms, come onto that right side body, back into your cross-legged seat. Okay, so now we're gonna get the other side. So you can see, since we swung the left leg forward, the left leg should now be on top, nice and parallel to the top of the mat. Come onto that left glute. You're gonna take your right leg out to the right, and then we're gonna swing it backwards. And again, same thing, as we come up onto that right knee, the left ankle is gonna come a little closer to the sit bones. I like to just help it out a little bit, bring it a little closer to the sit bones, come on to the right knee, walk it a little closer to the center line so you're nice and in alignment. Take a look at that back leg. I like to take the left knee a little closer to the left side of the mat. You want the left knee not in alignment with the hip, but you want it a little further to the outside of the mat. So again, same thing with the right toes. You can point them, you can turn them, whatever feels good. See if you can slide left hip backwards and right hip forwards. The body, especially if you're really tight, is going to want to twist to the right and come down that way. It's a little bit easier. If you keep the hips nice and square, I send my left hip backwards and my right hip forwards, you get a little more, even just in this variation of the pose, you get a nice stretch. Even if your hip flexors are really tight as well, you might even feel this a lot into the low back. Let's get a little bit of a back bend first. So come on up to the fingertips, drop through the shoulders. If you have blocks, you can even come on top of the blocks. Nice big back bend. Reach the heart forward. And then as you exhale, same thing. You can come onto the forearms and you can stay here. You can come onto the forehead. You can reach the arms forward. Whatever feels good. If you have a block too, sometimes it feels nice to place the block under the forehead. And again, notice how the right hip wants to come towards the floor and the left side wants to come off, the left side body wants to come up. So again, this is why it's nice to come into whatever version of the pose allows you to sink through that left hip and press the right hip forward, and then just hang out there. This is your own practice, so listen to your body. Don't necessarily feel like you have to come into whichever version of the pose makes you feel like it's the most intense version. Good. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, press through the palms if you're not already there. Come onto that left glute, and we're going to swing the right foot forwards. Perfect. So again, bring the hands to the knees, grow from the crown. Notice every time you get taller, reaching from the crown, dropping through the shoulders, those hip flexors engage. Good. Feel free to allow the eyes to close here. Again, we're going to kind of gently tuck tailbone forward, ground through the sit bones. A lot of the time as we think get taller, we think heart forward, kind of finding that dip in the spine. So you want to keep a nice tall spine, again, by gently tucking the tailbone just a little bit. You should still feel the sit bones. Beautiful. We're going to take the left leg out nice and long. The right foot can come to the inside of the thigh, or you can leave it wherever feels good. Hands can just come to the knees or the thighs, drop through the shoulder blades. Beautiful. And then from here, we're going to take the fingertips up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, twist to the left. So the belly button is twisting to come in alignment with that left knee. Drop through the shoulder blades, reach from the crown, and as you exhale, we're going to hinge at the hip and tip forward. Keep the biceps by the ears. Inhale, come on back up to center. Exhale again, hinge forward, nice long spine. So not bringing the chin to the chest, not rounding through the thoracic. Inhale, come back up to center. As you exhale, we're going to come into a twist. Left hand behind the low back. Right hand is going to grab wherever feels good. Right hand can grab outside of thigh, maybe the outside of the calf or shin. Maybe you want to take your peace fingers, grab your big toe. See if you can drop through the shoulders, reach from the crown, and then on your exhale, find a little bit of a twist. So we're hinging and folding here. Again, maybe grabbing the calf feels a little better. You shouldn't be kind of rounding and the shoulders coming up to the ears. So whatever enables you to get a nice flat spine or long spine. Take an inhale, untwist, bring the fingertips back up to center. Exhale, hands to the side body. And let's get the other side. So you're going to bring left leg in, right leg out to the right. I like to send the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Ground through the sit bones, drop through the shoulders, get nice and tall. Again, notice that right hip flexor starts to engage. Take an inhale, fingertips. As you exhale, drop through the shoulders, twist to the right from the belly button. So the whole core is twisting. Exhale to hinge forward. Again, keep that nice tall spine. Inhale, reach up from the crown of the head. So acting as though all you're doing is hinging as the hip, as though a string is pulling you up to the ceiling as you hinge, preventing that kind of rounding of the spine. So almost imagine as though a board is you're stuck to a board, strapped to a board along your spine. One more exhale, hinging. Inhale, come up. This time as you exhale, right hand behind the back body, left hand to the outside of the right thigh, maybe the calf, maybe with those peace fingers, grabbing the big toe. You might have one side a little tighter than the other, so listen to your body. And then take an inhale, fingertips to the ceiling, untwist. Exhale, hands to the side body. Good. We're going to come back into a cross-legged seat. Take a couple breaths here. Again, allow the eyes to close. Bring the hands to the knees. Drop through the shoulders. Reach from the crown. Get nice and centered. Just notice how your body's feeling. Beautiful. One more inhale here, open the eyes. Exhale to round the shoulders, crunch that belly button to the back window, to the back wall, look to the belly button. Inhale, lead with the heart, shoulder blades together. Exhale to round, bring the core, crunching it in, belly button to the back wall. Inhale, again, shoulder blades together. Drop down through the shoulders, heart forward. Last time, exhale to round. Inhale back to center. Good. Bring your palms together in a prayer. Allow the thumbs to connect to the chest, the heart center. Drop through the shoulders, reach from the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, bring the left ear to the left shoulder. Good. Keep dropping through the shoulder blades here. So rather than allowing the shoulders to come together, closing in through the heart, act as though you're gently pressing the shoulder blades together just to line up that core or that upper body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Dropping through the shoulders. That left shoulder is going to want to come up by the ear. Inhale to center. Hands to the side body. Lengthen from the crown. Exhale, walk the hands backwards, fingertips pointing forwards, shoulder blades together, reach the heart forward, and then we're going to plant through the feet, soles of the feet. You can kind of scoot up a little closer to the top of the mat, come on down onto the forearms, and then all the way onto the back body here. Again, bring those knees into the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe rocking from side to side. Come on back to center. Bring the arms back into your T-pose. So fingertips are reaching to opposite walls, or you can come into your cactus arm. So that 90-degree bend at the elbow, whatever feels good. And then you're gonna flex through the feet and press the heels up to the ceiling. Good. So really dig the heels in. Beautiful. Good. As you exhale, we're gonna bring the feet together, the knees together, and then exhale, gently come over slightly to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. So you're still grounding through the shoulders. Both shoulder blades should still be touching your mat. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend the knees, grab the shins. Give yourself a little squeeze. Inhale. Exhale, float the soles of the feet back down to the mat. Come on back into that T-pose. Walk the feet together so the toes are touching. And then you're going to allow the knees to fall in opposite directions, coming into a reclined Buddha Konasana, reclined butterfly. So the soles of the feet are now touching and the knees are knocking outwards. Nice big exhale, release, relaxing through the shoulders, the chest. Releasing through the face, relaxing through the jaw. So you can part the back molars, allow the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. See if you can start to lengthen that breath. And then we'll come into our final pose, Shavasana or corpse pose. So if you want to stay here in this version of Shavasana, feel free if you want a little bit of an extra stretch for the hips. If you want more of your standard Shavasana, knees can come together, lengthen those legs nice and long. Arms can come by the side body, out in your T-pose, maybe in your cactus. Sometimes it feels good to grab opposite elbows above the head. So whatever feels good for you. Allow those eyes to close. If you haven't already, if you'd like to grab a blanket or some socks. Soften through the face, soften through the shoulders, the chest, releasing through the arms, the fingers. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and then inhaling and exhaling through the nose. See if you can start to lengthen your breath. Inhaling, maybe counting to a 3, a 4, or a 5. And see if you can allow your exhales to be longer than your inhales. So maybe inhaling to a 3, exhaling to a 6. Softening through the low body, the hips, the glutes. With every exhale, allowing the chest and the shoulders to melt a little further into your mat, feeling the support beneath you. Coming into more of a natural breath. So releasing that 1 to 2 breath ratio. Without any manipulation of the breath at all. Just simply noticing. Seeing if you can melt your inhales into your exhales. Nice smooth breath. Relaxing through the thighs, the calves, the feet. Imagining as though you're completely releasing all muscle control. Releasing anything that might not be serving you today or this evening, whenever you might be practicing. Making space to receive whatever it is that you might be needing in this season of your life. Maybe this day, maybe this week, maybe this month. Sending yourself a ton of love and gratitude for showing up to your practice today. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.